Hey guys, we are going to do the non-renewables activity today. Before you can do this lab, you actually need to make your gelatin the day before. So I pre-made my gelatin. You can see it here. It's nice and firm. It's been sitting in the refrigerator overnight. We'll see if this vessel works. If not, I'll do another run with a different vessel, see what the changes are. Anyway, this is 4 packs of the unflavored gelatin. And what I did was I sprinkled these 4 packs over about a half a cup of cold water. I boiled water in my teapot and then brought the amount to 4 cups in this measuring bowl. You can use anything as long as you have a full 4 cups of liquid at the end. And then you're going to refrigerate that overnight in the fridge. You're also going to need some syrup, duct tape, a push pin, and a couple of straws. The lab calls for straws that bend. I don't see where that's necessary. We'll see how it goes. Also, you're going to need a 20cc syringe. This is just an old school syringe. I think most children's medications have this type of syringe. And then I had to modify it a little bit because it's old, so I put some Teflon or thread tape in there so it's nice and tight. The first thing I'm going to do is bore a hole into the gelatin. So we're going to go about 2/3 of the way down. You don't want to touch the bottom, so I'm going to end up like right around here. I'm going to try anyway. So you're just going to push this straw down in, and you need a clear container so that you can see what you're doing. Then block the top of this straw and slowly pull out, and hopefully this will pull out a plug. And that plug is going to be what we will inject the syrup into. Ooh, I don't know that worked very well. Let's see how this goes. Alright, well that broke off, so I'm going to try to go down in the exact same space that I did. Thankfully it's guiding me down. Try this again. Okay, so I actually see that this is full of gelatin here, so that's good. Okay, so you can see, hopefully you can see, that there's actually a hole bored down into this, and it's a little dirty because I had to do it twice. So that wasn't the easiest thing to do. I don't know if maybe taking it out of the fridge earlier would have helped. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so now we're actually going to poke our holes in our other straw. The directions call for poking about 10 holes, 10 millimeters apart, and about 10 millimeters from the end of the straw. So I just grabbed this ruler so that I could give myself a guide. I'm going to start the holes around here, and I'm going to do 1 hole on each side of the straw, this side and this side, all the way up to about here. Sorry, here. And I'm going to start here. So it doesn't have to be perfect, I'm sure, but the guide is really nice to have. So you're just going to do a straight line. I've just got a thumbtack. And you're going to do both sides. I'm just going to flip this guy. Okay, so now we've got our straw with our holes, perforations. I'm going to tape this end, that way no syrup can drip out of this. So you basically just want to seal this end up without covering any of the perforations. Make it as smooth as possible here because we're going to have to push this down into our pre-bored hole. So I don't want to create any more cracks or fissures with the end of the duct tape. So get that as smooth as possible. Then we're going to attach this end of this straw to our syringe, and I'm also going to tape that together to create a seal in between here. Then we're going to be filling this up with syrup, letting the syrup go down into the straw. It's probably going to be messy, and fill the syringe with syrup, and then that's when we're going to be putting the plunger back in and delivering the fracking juice into our earth. So I've got this sealed up just with duct tape. I think this is going to work really well. Like I said, we're going to be filling this up with syrup. It's going to come down into here and it's going to get everywhere at first, but that's okay. This is going to be messy. It's going to be fine. So I'm going to fill this guy with syrup, and it's going to slowly drip down into the straw. And this needs to be full. The lab calls for a full syringe and a full straw. So I'm going to wait until this drips down slowly, very slowly. This is taking quite a while. I'm going to let gravity do the dirty work here. And then once this goes down far enough to the end of this straw, I'm going to put the plunger into the syringe. I'm going to insert it into the gelatin block to the point where we've stopped here. And then very quickly, with a lot of pressure, I'm going to push down the plunger, and we will see how the demonstration goes. Okay, so it's just about to a point where I can pop the... Actually, this didn't make a mess at all. Hopefully this syrup will come out of the straw. I'm going to go ahead and place it in. Oh, this is definitely where I'm going to make a mess. And then quickly So I didn't notice much of a fracking pattern other than the fractures. You can see them from the top. So I tried to do this again in the same hole with some strawberry syrup that also all it did was stain the shaft. So I'm going to try it one more time with this, and then we'll move on to a different vessel. And I used sugar-free syrup, so I'm wondering now if that may be an issue. I got some regular syrup, so we'll try it with this and see how it goes. Okay, so I can start to see the syrup dripping out of the perforations. So we're going to try this again. In the same shaft, we'll just see how it goes. I'll try to do this with more pressure. It's a definite difference using this type of syrup. It's very hard to push down. Okay, we got some definite fracturing going on here, so the key was definitely to use the sugar full syrup. Okay, so just because I have an extra setup, I'm going to go ahead and do the extra setup.